Will Squad Busters be Supercell's biggest global flop? Let's talk about that. It's no secret that Supercell hasn't released a global game in forever. It's been like 6 years or something crazy like that since Brawl Stars went global, and Clash Mini, everyone thought that was going to be Supercell's next global game, but they killed it, which sucks. But then they decided to have Squad Busters go global before they even did any beta testing. Yes, they announced that it was going global after like 2 days of it being in beta testing, but I mean, like, come on, that video that they were working on, they already made the decision internally within the Supercell company that this game was going to go global before it even reached any public players' hands. And was that a good decision, or was it a bad decision? I've heard from some people that it's like, finally, Supercell is just not doing crazy long betas, and they're just full sending it with a game. That's great, that's perfect, that's what we want. Is it though? I mean, if you look at this graph here, Squad Busters reached a record high interest rate when they announced it was going global. So a lot of people were like, oh, what's Squad Busters? Let me check it out. Let me search it. Let me maybe even download it and play it. I mean, I know we don't know what Supercell's numbers are, but to me, it seems like a lot of people downloaded this game, tried it out, and maybe isn't playing it that much. They're definitely not watching the videos as much, and no one's really searching for Squad Busters that much, but that is to be expected. When Brawl Stars went global, to be fair, when they announced that it was going global, there was another high peak, just like what we're experiencing, and then it dipped down a bit. And then once it went global, it went crazy high, and then it just kept going even higher. So honestly, Squad Busters is probably going to do the same thing. But I will say, I mean, I do feel like Brawl Stars' global update had the game in a much better global state than Squad Busters currently is. And I say currently is because I'm sure Supercell is working on a global update for Squad Busters. As a creator, I haven't been told that a global update is confirmed, but based off of what Supercell has done in the past with their global games, they've had global updates in the past. So I'm sure there's going to be new content. We can probably guess that the new Ultra evolution might be part of that new global update, as well as new Mega units and things like that. But I do think if they're just introducing new Mega units, that's not enough to fix Squad Busters' problems. Especially because Mega units are one of, I think, the biggest problems in Squad Busters. So let's go into the top 2 things that I think Squad Busters needs to change first. Number 1 is how Mega units even work in the first place. The fact that they are consumables and just temporary characters, I feel like is a major flaw. I've played a lot of Squad Buster games. I've watched a lot of Squad Buster videos of people talking about what their thoughts about this are. And I actually really liked what Enchant and Full Fronches said on one of their Squadcast episodes, where they mentioned that Mega units should be more something like Mega Fragments, and should be kind of a different upgradable character. Like, once you unlock the Mega unit, you have that Mega unit, and it's there. But then all the different more Mega units you get are like fragments, and you can use those fragments to upgrade. I guess pretty similar to the whole evolution thing, but I guess they won't really evolve. They'll just stay what they are and just get stronger over time, maybe get more abilities and such. But also, I feel like Mega units shouldn't just be a regular spawn in the chest. It should really be only used as a comeback mechanic. Like in Mario Kart, you get one of those item blocks, it's a random thing that you get, and usually if you're in first place, you don't really get that many good things because you're already in first place. But if you're in last place, that's when you get the crazy stuff like Bullet Bill that just launches you to like 5th place, so that way it, you know, catches you up and you're not so far behind, and now you have a fighting chance to win. I feel like Mega units should be something like that for when you're struggling and you are in last place or something, or there's a really big gap between you and the next person. A Mega unit could be something that could help you get a bit of ahead, and maybe Mega units are even a timed character. Maybe you don't have a Mega unit for the entire match. Maybe once you get the Mega unit, you only have them for like 30 seconds. But during those 30 seconds, you can destroy as many squads as you can, as many monsters, gain as many gold and gems as you can, just to go from that 10th place to maybe 3rd place, and now you have a fighting chance during that last minute or so of the game to really fight it out and have a really exciting endgame match. Also, while we're on the subject of, you know, consumables and kind of pay to win type stuff, I will say Squad Busters like monetization isn't the best out of all the Supercell games. I mean, the fact that the keys, I mean, everyone said it. I'm sure you've seen other videos talking about how the keys, the fact that you can just buy a fusion or buy a free chest or an epic chest is the same thing as like just buying extra elixir in the middle of a match for Clash Royale, or buying more power cubes in a showdown match for Brawl Stars. It's not fair for a free-to-play player to compete against someone who can do that, because then it's not just them outskilling you, it's them literally just like, oh, let me just buy this fusion character, boom, I'm just jumped and basically unlocked 3 more chests compared to you. It's definitely a pay-to-win feature. The whole leaderboard aspect, once you get to Squad League, it's not there's really no pro players in Squad Busters yet. Right now, the way the matchmaking is and the way the leadership works and the trophies work is those people are the people who have played Squad Busters the most and have put the most amount of time in Squad Busters. And obviously because of that, I'm sure they're better than, a brand new player. But it's definitely more about who put in the most amount of time than who's the most skilled. And to be fair, Clash Mini was the same way during its beta. It was very pay to win at the start. It had challenge coins. You had to actually pay money pretty much to continue playing ranked and earn trophies. So if you played the most and paid the most, you'd be a top player, which that wasn't fun. I know that turned a lot of my friends that I introduced to Clash Mini very early in its beta, it turned them away and they didn't come back to the game. And I'm really worried that might happen with Squad Busters. But to be fair, Clash Royale had a very similar global debut where you had to spend coins in order to play a match. So that also was very, not fun experience for a free-to-play player. But a person who just buys gold, they can play as much as they want, and obviously they're going to have a lot better of an experience. But Clash Royale ended up fixing it. Clash Mini ended up fixing it down the line, and it ended up becoming so much better. I don't know why Squad Busters is like, you know what? 3rd time's a charm. Let's try these elements, see if it sticks. It's not going to stick. I have a feeling they're going to change it. I know Squad Busters is the team behind Squad Busters is looking at all the feedback, and I mean, Supercell makes incredible games. Like, they're going to listen to the feedback and they're going to do their best at making the best game has the best experience for free-to-play and pay-to-play players alike. Now, if they've tackled those 2 big points, I think the whole economy and everything will just be a lot better and a lot more fun. In terms of gameplay, I really like the core gameplay of it, actually. I like that it's a simple mode of showdown gem grab combo, and I love modifiers. It's so much better. I played this game during an old beta when they didn't have modifiers, and it just was not as exciting and not as fun and got way too repetitive without it. Modifiers makes it so much more fun and less repetitive. But I will say having new game modes will just make it even more fresh, and is something that I definitely think Squad Buster needs, especially a duo mode. In old betas, they did tease a second mode. There was the normal gem grab or whatever it was called mode, gem mine or whatever. It was like gem grab, but then there was a second mode that was a co-op mode called gem mine, and I think that involved obviously co-op, so it was you and one other person, and I don't know if that was just you and one other person against like a bunch of monsters, so it was kind of like I think it was a Robo Rumble, where that was a game mode in Brawl Stars. There you would protect this safe in the middle, and you wouldn't play against other players. It was just PvE, you versus the robots, and you just tried to defend your safe for as long as possible as more waves of monsters came in. I think a mode like that could be really fun, where you're actually working as a team with other squads, creating this one big mega squad that is basically 3 squads together that everyone's controlling, and you're just trying to protect this gem mine if that has the health and everyone's attacking it. I think that could be really fun. Also, if there's like a 2v2v2 type thing where it's basically the same thing but with duos, that could also be a lot of fun. One thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about, which I would love to see, is a straight up teams deathmatch where it's a 5v5 mode. That would be so much fun if it's just the red team and blue team, and who can basically take out the other team or gain the most gems from that team. I think just that would add... I think those are just simple game modes that don't change a lot to the core gameplay, but just add a lot more like fun and flexibility, and just adds way more stuff to do in the game. Speaking of more stuff to do in this game, I know they're going to be adding plazas probably in the global update would be my guess. So I know, you know, a kind of Clash of Clans base building type of feature is coming, which I'm excited about. It does seem like a way more simple, watered down version of like base building. I do think that'll add some cool stuff into the game, which I'm excited about. I'm sure it'll help with retention too. But yeah, I definitely want to see more game modes that add a little bit more excitement to the game. I think the current game mode that is in the game right now, I think the vines that are closing in and getting people to get into a smaller space, I think it's too wide when the game is in its final 60 seconds or even the final 30 seconds, because people can just run away with their squad and with their gems, and you could be chasing them during that whole last 30 seconds and never catch up to them, because there's still such a big map for people to run around it. I think the vines should get even smaller to the point where people are just forced to fight each other, and still have a timer. It shouldn't get completely small like it is in Brawl Stars, where there's just one person standing wins, because it would be nice if you still win with gems and you're alive, but you still are in like second or third place or something like that. But it would be nice to see a lot more action happen during those last 30 seconds. I also think there should be a lot more game modes that separate this game from Brawl Stars, because there are a lot of similarities. I mean, the fact that the main game mode is basically showdown and gem grab mashed into one, that it's fun, but it's not something new and really original. It's not something that we haven't already seen before, pretty much is what I'm saying. So brand new game modes with a whole new set of rules and stuff would be really exciting to see. I know Brawl Stars kind of is that game for like party game modes and stuff, because I mean they have Hot Zone and Capture the Flag and Brawl Ball, where they have just this insane variety of stuff. So I mean, Squad Busters, they need to do something that separates them from Brawl Stars. I mean, Clash Royale was a great example of separating itself from Clash of Clans, because it wasn't really a base builder, and the PvP aspect of Clash of Clans, it wasn't real-time PvP. Like, you would fight someone while they were offline, and when you were offline, someone would fight and raid your village. But in Clash Royale, it's real-time PvP, where when you're fighting someone else simultaneously, and what you do, they have to counter, and what they do, you have to counter. And it was a completely brand new experience, and that's why it was so good to stand alone on itself compared to Clash of Clans. And Brawl Stars was a completely new genre that Supercell went into. I feel like this genre that Squad Busters is going into, the most unique part of it is the Agario aspect of it, where you start with a squad and you get bigger, and the bigger squads destroy the smaller squads. And as you destroy a squad, they get smaller, and yours becomes bigger when you steal their loot and become and unlock more characters. It's basically it is the Agario formula, which is a very successful formula. A lot of people loved Agario, but obviously it was pretty basic, so people stopped playing it. I'll tell you this is not as basic as Agario. It's got way more to offer, which is why I think it's going to have a way longer shelf life than Agario had. But I do have these concerns about this game that I feel like if Squad Busters really focused on and fixed those, pay to win cosmetics and the way mega units are even behave, if they fix that and then just add quality of life changes with the new game modes and just making the game more fun and more appealing to a global audience, without a doubt this game is going to do well, and this is going to be Supercell's next global hit. I do hope, though, them rushing this game to go global so soon in this development compared to what we've seen from other Supercell games that either have gone global or have been killed, I really hope it doesn't backfire on Supercell. This looks like this is a first for Supercell, so I hope it works out so that we get to see even more games come from Supercell, and the fact that this is just genuinely a really fun game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I know the people that are playing it, they're having a lot of fun with it, and there is a reason this game is going global. But I mean, Supercell does have a high standard, and I'm gonna hold Supercell to that standard like all other Supercell players do. So we'll see what the future of this game holds. I'm excited for it, and make sure you subscribe to this video if you want to see more Squad Busters content, especially when this game goes global. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.